Many people asking why some channels are showing 10 different anomalies and they're all proof that there's an imaginary artificial sun occulting our dying sun, and why they always look different but yet they're supposed to represent the same object. The answer is because they're lying. That's the only answer that I can think of. All of that, this is just anomaly created by the aperture. The aperture has little fan blades on it. Also, I wanted to show you this, because people say we're going to go into an ice age because of one thing only, sunspots. But we're looking at before our last solar cycle between 23 and 24, our sunspots bottomed out and our temperatures went up. So there goes your connection to sunspots. And we're not and it's more than one organization that counts sunspots and plots global temps. There's more than one entity doing that. And normally you can see generally the temperatures kind of mimic the sunspot total, and indeed more energy comes off the sun during solar maximums. But what has happened is there's so much cosmic rays now in the solar system that during solar minimum, those cosmic rays just awash the entire solar system and interact with the sun's energy and the magnetic fields of our own planet, creating additional energy that normally wouldn't be there. So the fact that our sunspots are dying means nothing. That means absolutely nothing, especially this year and last year and the year before last and this solar cycle. And nobody who talks about sunspots talks about the helium cosmic rays. The word helium is completely and totally absent. So then it's a solar system event, and we've noticed that we've shown you dozens of times how almost every single object that's in our solar system, its atmosphere has rapidly undergone change since about 2010, 2011, when really the interaction between these cosmic rays and the sun's cosmic rays started creating and wreaking havoc everywhere. Now, we told you that the magnetic field lines on the sun are going to tell you where this brown dwarf is. Off to the right of the screen is Leo, the constellation Leo. That's also where the dark rift is in the solar system. But notice how to the right-hand side, some of the field lines in the southern hemisphere appear to be going up and to the right, and the loops seem to be bigger on the right-hand side of the sun than on the left-hand side, indicating something may actually be inflating those loops or stretching them. But then this is what happened. We monitor those magnetograms every day because we want to know when this brown dwarf is going to cross our path or pass over our heads. And look what happened. All of a sudden, the magnetic fields, this is what we told you was going to happen if this thing would come up, according to Harrington's model, come up to the solar equator in the direction of Leo, then all of these magnetic fields lines on the southern hemisphere of the sun, the southern coronal hole, the south pole of the sun, would start pointing at the brown dwarf. And look what's happened. All of those magnetic field lines coming out of the south pole of the sun are pointing off to the right, and the magnetic loops are even bigger, and still we don't see a whole lot of magnetic field lines coming out of the north pole of the sun yet. But we should start to see more. And we see a few up there at the top that are kind of pointing off to the right, none pointing off to the left. So that's the shift we were looking for. That's the exact thing we were warning you about and telling you what you should be looking for. And then we go and check a day later, and those phenomenons are starting to show up. Now, I'm afraid that these are going to be taken down, so you have to keep an eye on this, but this is a real good indication this thing is getting closer and closer to the solar equator, closer and closer to the sun. So be prepared, not scared.